So, as you may know from watching other videos, the bed on the green truck is pretty much shot. And yesterday, I picked up this. It's a bed off a 2014 F350. The truck only had like 900 miles on it, the guy said. And you can't really tell right now, but that front metal, which would be this, was smashed in, probably no worse than that. From I guess the load came loose, and somehow the guy got the insurance company to pay for it. So he got a brand new bed out of it, and this is the insurance company's, the tailgate that they got, and he ended up using the red one that matched it. So this is the tailgate I got with it. Comes with the Ford bed liner in it. He threw in these extra top rails, even though they are currently on it. And I mean, it's perfect. It's pretty much brand new. A little bit dirty right now, but there's that little bit of damage on that front piece on the bulkhead, which you'll see later. These little scratches right here, and it's a little bent right there. But other than that, it's perfect. The most amazing part of all this is how much we paid. $800. We drove 2 hours away to get it. It was 112 miles each way. So I've been looking for quite a while. The last month I've been looking really hard, and that was by far the best thing. I almost bought a 2008, and it had rust already pretty bad on the supports. That's the big thing with these, is the supports rot out, and yeah, that's the biggest problem. So it's got a little bit of a bump there, but I'm not complaining at all. So I started taking the bed liner out and took the tailgate off and everything, and it's pretty unbelievable what I found under there. So I've already been messing with this, but this is a support rail that was running right here. This is the floor that was laying there. So this, yeah, pretty unbelievable. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on a tripod now, see actually how much it's moving. This is a 2002. For those of you that don't know, I know I've talked about this truck in my other videos, but if this is the only video you've seen, you wouldn't know. It's a 2002 F250, and it was a plow truck since it was new for the Chicago Park District. And we got it last year, and then we plowed with it last year. So it had a Myers plow on it, and took it off and put Western Ultramount on to use our stuff. So there's the new bed, 2014 bed, with that tailgate, and that's what's going to go on here. Alright, so with removing the bed, I thought originally that I could just cut a square on the surface sheet metal, but that doesn't work, because in each of these supports there's this collar sleeve that it goes into, so even still with the head of the bolt, it won't go through there. So you can't just cut that, you gotta cut the head of the bolt off. And I've just been kind of cutting it into a pie shape, pounding the crap out of it. So I've done that there. These two didn't even need it because they were separated already up at the front here by the cab. So I got this one left to do, and these ones are good. And then also the wiring, I guess I'll just go through everything. The wiring, you obviously take the taillights off, and then there's wiring that goes to them, and it runs in this channel, and you just reach up under here and you can get it. There's some plastic Christmas tree push-in pins that hold it, and it comes across and comes out here, and it's pretty simple. So you've got the wiring for the taillights and these bolts that, you know, the actual bed bolts, and then the collar for this. There's 3 bolts, and only one of them was, I only got one of them to unscrew. The others, I tried drilling them out and the bit kept wandering, so I ended up just taking a chisel and just pounding it and destroying the sheet metal, since it's part of the bed anyways. And then I just took the butt of a hammer and shoved the filler neck down, and I put the gas cap back on. And I'm probably going to need to replace the filler neck too, because it's really flaky. So I'll go ahead and change that. So I'm going to go ahead and grind this, cut this last bolt head off, and just keep working. Alright, so since I have no help today, I decided to cut it there at the bulkhead, and then cut it here, and now I'm going to try to go over there again and see if I can get it off in pieces like this, because I wasn't able to do it any other way. So there we are. Didn't exactly go as I planned, but it's off with minimal damage to the back of the cab and my hand. So I'm gonna drive this thing out of here and go finish cutting the rest of those bolts off and get this cleaned up.
Yeah. So now, that's the truck here. Yep. Pick up on that end with the dome, let you pick it off. Yep. And then have the people on this end walk with us. We'll have it way up too. Right. So I'll get the truck. I'm torn between what I like to do. It's pretty close. I think there's some play in it. I read something about bed alignment.
Alright, so we got the bed on. One of the biggest issues were the bed bolts, the order that they go in. This is the way Ford sold me the bolts, is they got a kit. And let me see if I can get the number here for you. That's 3Z9, right in that broken area. And this is a kit of bed bolts for the short box. So you have to add on certain ones for a long bed. And this is the way they show it in the manual that comes with that kit. The difference between type 1 and type 3 is that fatter collar up at the top, but they're about the same length. Type 2 is short in length with a narrow collar. So that's the way it goes for that. This is the printout I had though from the dealer for the long bed. I'll go ahead and hold it there and you can pause it and look at that if you want. Basically though, Ford gave me that kit plus an additional what I believe is type 2. So they gave me 2 more of these, which is not what I needed. You need that kit plus an additional type 3, which I believe is that part number right there that ends in 4O right there. So the 4 O's go there, and then there, and there. And so I've got the very front one in, and this one in. So I need 2 more of those ones that end in 4O for right there and right there. And these short ones that I have left over, because I had a total of 4 of these type 2s, and they are what I believe to be ending in number 2. These won't fit. They drop in and they're very close to the bed's floor. So you need a total of 4 of the ones that end in O, and those are known as type 3. So they're not symmetrical side to side. The only ones that are symmetrical side to side are these ones right there. They are both short, and they are both the ones that end in 4-2 right there. So that's the confusing bit with the bed. And then over here we got, I just used some of our own self-tapping sheet metal screws, 3 of them right there. That was pretty easy. I'm not sure where this little thing is supposed to go, since there's no hole here like there was on the green one. I'm eyeing this hole here and this little clip here, so I'll have to look at a new truck and see what that has. And I also need a little rubber bumper there. We got the tailgate on. I need to get 1 bolt like that, and I accidentally put those hooks on without putting the bed liner in first. So the bed liner needs to go in, then this goes in, and those hooks go through that. So don't make that mistake either. So then for exhaust, I never mentioned this in the other videos, that I went ahead and ordered a new muffler. It's a Walker Quiet SS, I believe, and tailpipe assembly. They're direct fit. I used a clamp on there, and still need a connection. I don't know if this is going to focus, but right there, the piece that goes from the cat to the muffler needs to be made. It jets out the wrong direction, but it's all hung and everything, so I'm probably just going to take it to a shop and tell them to do what they need to do. We also got a hanger that's rusted off right there, so maybe we'll have them re-weld that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and inflate the tires. I had the tires low so that I could get it into the building, even though I never really needed to get it all the way in. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to Ford, get the proper bolts. I got to get a new torque spit. It's a T50 for those of you wondering. But this one has about had it. So get a new one of them. I'm going to torque them down. I don't know the torque spec yet. I think it's 47, but I'm not sure of that. 47 foot-pounds. I got to double check that and finish that up. Alright, it's the next day now, and I did yesterday go ahead and went to Ford, exchanged those other bolts for the proper ones. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in, and I bought a new torque spit, so I'll be able to do that. I'm going to go ahead and show you, because I didn't yesterday. This was the damage on the bulkhead that is the reason why this bed wasn't used anymore, why he had it replaced. I mean, that's not really bad at all. You're not going to be able to see this once the bed liner's on it, so I'll probably go ahead and clean that up a bit and get some clear on it, just so it doesn't rust. And I just got back from a shop that did that little piece from the cat to the muffler to finish that. So it is hooked up, but I'm not too happy with it. I'll go ahead and show you real quick in this. he didn't pitch the tailpipe properly like I wanted to let the water drain, and these welds are just horrible. These are like the worst welds I've ever seen on anything ever. I don't consider myself to be a good welder at all or know what I'm doing at all, but I could have done better than this. So I'm very tempted to go back there and tell them to cut this off and do it again, because it's crap. They might even be leaking, I'm not sure. I need somebody else to see if they're leaking when I cover the tailpipe. Anyways, I got the bolts, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those in. I did look it up again, and I still believe it's 47 foot-pounds is the torque for the bed bolts. I also went ahead and ordered a set of these bolts. I could only order them in 4, but it was only like $5 from Ford, so I figured that's fine. So I went ahead and got them. I gotta pick them up in a little bit. They should be in. The thing with the nuts, those clip nuts that go on the frame, is they don't have any threads in them when they're new. So when you're screwing these in, you're creating the threads with the bed bolts, and so it takes quite a bit of effort to get them to go in. So just be aware of that. I've been taking the bolts and dipping them in anti-seize before running them in. Just if there's any chance I got to take it off, that'll probably help a little bit, even though the difficulty in removing the bolts, from what I've heard, is more because of the way that they thread in, that they thread their own threads going in, and that's why they don't back out easily, not because of rust. So I'll go ahead and get these in. Now I'll go ahead and check that they're all at 47 foot-pounds.